Hello, my name is Janine Helton and I am a math teacher here at Coronado. Currently, I teach Algebra I, Pre-Calculus Honors, and AP Calculus. I wanted to take this time to tell you a little bit about your students' class. Algebra I is a high school level math class that uses all of the concepts and skills that students have learned up until they get into high school. So it is very rigorous and there are a lot of expectations put on your students. To start with, I want to talk about the way in which that you can contact me. There's 3 ways that you can contact me. The first one is using the chat feature in Teams to send me text messages. This is actually probably the best way to message me. It's just like using a text on your phone. I will immediately get the message and I can text you back and we can have a very quick back and forth conversation. Another way would be to email me at janinehelton@susd.org, and this also is a pretty efficient way. I will get emails on my phone and my computer, so I will be able to answer to you very quickly. However, it does still take a little bit more time to create the email than it would in a very quick text message. So if you have a lot of things you need to talk about or you have a major concern, I think emailing is a really good way to communicate with me. But if you just have a quick question or your student does, that chat feature is a great idea. Finally, you could leave me a message on my phone at Coronado. However, this is probably the least efficient. I only check it every couple of days, and then I would need to reach out and try to call you back and make contact. So I do think the other 2 methods would be the best way to contact me. My online classes, I have a bunch of different learning platforms that we are going to use during this time. The biggest one I use is going to be Teams. You'll see me talking about Teams a lot. We use Teams for our class meetings. We use Teams for my office hours, and again, for doing that private messaging between students. So if I need to reach out to just an individual student, I will message them through Teams. I also use Google Classroom. I use Google Classroom to post all my assignments and to make announcements for the entire class. So where I think of Teams as my communication hub, I think of Google Classroom as sort of my calendar hub. It tells my students when their assignments are due, what assignments are due, and it keeps them organized. There are many other resources that I use in my classes. I use Pearson Realize. I use OneNote, I use Edpuzzle, I use School City, I use IXL. But the really nice thing is all of these other resources can be accessed either through Teams, Google Classroom, or SUSD single sign-on. So it's real easy for any student to figure out how to access any of the platforms that we're going to be using in class. My office hours are Monday through Thursday from 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. and on Friday from 1 to 1:30 p.m. However, on Fridays, I just ask the students to message me first before they come onto their office hours to be sure that my camera is up and going. Students already have an invite to these and they just can pop in anytime they're confused on what to do on their homework. They didn't understand what happened in class. They need clarification on that. I may be assigning office hours for some students that I see are struggling when we're doing the lessons. My class overview is pretty straightforward. We have our offline work that students need to do when they're not seeing me face to face, and then we have what we're going to be doing online in class when we are face to face through Teams. Offline work, they need to watch a lesson video. There will be quizzes embedded in that lesson video, and there is a lesson video for every single lesson that we're going to be talking about. It's really important that the student watches those videos before they come to class. There also will be some homework problems in are Pearson Realize. Pearson is the publisher of our textbook that we use. So the homework problems dovetail perfectly with the lessons that we are on the lesson video and that we're going to be discussing in class. We also use something called IXL. IXL is a great program that just gives students the opportunity to answer very quick questions to make sure that they understand those small skills that they need to know to be able to do the large problems that are in their homework. In our online classes, we start with a discussion of the lesson video. Students are welcome to ask questions about the video, ask for clarifications on them, so you can see it's really important that they've watched that video before they come to class. We then do some example problems through OneNote. OneNote is incredible, and we can do problems just like we would on a whiteboard in class, and we can even share the problems with these Microsoft Go computers that we have and a stylus. We will be doing unit tests and section quizzes through School City, and those will be done during class time. My expectations for my learners is to have their lesson videos completed prior to coming to class, have any questions ready for me. They need to be prepared when they come to class. They need to have a paper, a pencil, a calculator, and preferably a stylus for the Microsoft Go computers. They need to be engaged with their cameras on. They need to be ready to ask questions, and they need to be in an environment that seems like they are sitting at a desk at school. No laying in bed or sitting in a place where they can't work. They need to be respectful, mute their microphones when not speaking. I know with all of these resources that we have, our students can be extremely successful while we're doing online learning. However, I am looking forward to seeing them in class when we can come back to school.